While we are eagerly awaiting the release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remastered as of March 2025, I thought I'd step back to the early 2000s and do retrospective reviews of the original two games. In this video, I'll be doing a retrospective on the PS2 version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, the game which brought the beloved franchise into the next generation, before answering the most important question. My name is OneHip, and thanks for clicking on this video. Be sure to like the video and share it to those who may enjoy watching this kind of content. And if you want more Tony Hawk's, skateboarding, or other extreme or non-extreme sports games content on the channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. Anyway, let's go. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was released on October 28, 2001 in the US on the original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, Game Boy Color, and GameCube. It was also notable for being the final official game released on the Nintendo 64, which was discontinued about 3 months prior to the release of this game. In 2002, Pro Skater 3 was also released on PC, Mac, Game Boy Advance, and most notably, Microsoft's first home console, the original Xbox. The game was developed by Neversoft and published by Activision under the short-lived O2 label, which included other extreme sports titles like Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer, Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 1 and 2, as well as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, which I'll do a retrospective on in a future video. For my gameplay footage, I played the PS2 version of the game that I have the disc for through my PC via emulation through PCSX2, upscaled to 1440p. This may explain why the graphics may look a bit crisper in this retrospective than what you may remember growing up playing the game. I will leave a link in the description with where to download PCSX2. Please note that you'll need a PS2 copy of Tony Hawk's 3, either the original disc to copy onto your PC via your internal or external DVD burner, or by, I'll say, other measures, in order to emulate it. You'll also need to have the PS2 BIOS to run the game or any other PS2 game on your PC, and again, I'm not able to show you where that is on this platform, I do apologise. Performing tricks and combos are tight, and most of the levels, which I'll get to later, are well designed and very enjoyable to shred around in. You won't be able to do things that you see in more modern titles like combo lip tricks, flatland tricks, wall plants, spine transfers or acid drops, but this game introduces reverts for the first time, where you can continue your combo by reverting from a ramp and manualing to keep that score ticking up higher. There's also no ability to spine, so you can land on your board if you're about to land on the ground on an angle. However, this can be fixed by hitting grind as you're about to land on a grindable item, should there be one nearby. And sorry Underground and American Wasteland fans, you're unable to get off your board and walk, run, climb or perform flips. There are 5 gold levels you unlock as you play Career Mode, Foundry, Canada, Suburbia, Airport, and Los Angeles, as well as 3 competition levels mixed in, including Rio, Skater Island, and Tokyo. There's also a bonus level called Cruise Ship with its own goals that you unlock after medaling in Tokyo and completing Career Mode. In Career Mode, you have a 2-minute timer to achieve as many goals in the level as you can. For every 9 goals you unlock in any level or any mix of them, or for every competition that you medal in, you unlock another level. This is the same formula from both 1 and 2, and the 4th game would remove the 2-minute timer in its Career Mode along with future titles. The timer would be moved to other modes called Classic Mode in future installments of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. While the goal names make sense, some of them can be a bit vague if you've never played the game before, and having not played it for quite a while, I had to go on YouTube to figure out how to complete a couple of them. But most levels will consist of a common theme of goals like collecting 5 of a certain item, performing a certain trick in a particular area of the map, completing a very quick fetch quest for an NPC, collecting the letters S, K, A, T, E, and making high scores, among many different others. You can also collect stat points to increase your character's stats like ollie, speed, and rail balance, and you can collect different decks across each map to customize your board. NPCs appear in the series for the first time, and performing tricks in front of certain ones will net you a spectator bonus for your combo. You can also find hidden combos as you pull off double tap tricks like double impossibles, which also add to your combo score. There are several modes for you to play in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, including Career Mode, where you complete goals to unlock new levels like I mentioned earlier, Single Session, where you try to get as many points as you can within 2 minutes, and Free Skate, where you can freely roam around the map with no time limit to practice lines and combos and discover gaps as well as secret areas. All of the pro skaters from 1 and 2 appear here, except for Bob Burnquist, who appeared in another skateboarding game that year called ESPN X Skateboarding. However, he would return for the sequel and subsequent titles. Bam Margera makes his debut in the series in this game, and once again, you can create your own skater. Pro Skater 3 also allows you to create a female skater for the first time in the series, and this would continue all the way into Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, which is the latest entry in the series as of recording this video. You can also customize your skater, either created, unlocked, or pro, with unlockable boards themed for the skater, as well as being able to create your own park. Even though the options for locations are quite limited, the Creator Park mode in here is still quite solid, and it would have been revolutionary at the time of release. Once you finish career mode for the first time with any skater, you'll unlock a short film called Pro Bales, as well as the bonus level cruise ship like I mentioned earlier. You unlock more skaters as you play through the career mode every time, and you can unlock licensed skaters including Darth Maul, Wolverine, and the Neversoft Eyeball, as well as secret characters in previous entries including Officer Dick and Private Carrera, as well as other real-life and fictional characters. In the PC version of the game, you can also unlock Doomguy, who will be making their appearance again in the upcoming remasters as Doomslayer. You can also unlock classic stages as you play more career mode sessions with different skaters, including Warehouse, Burnside, and Roswell. All of these are from Pro Skater 1. These were updated for the next gen, and they look very good. These classic levels, however, are only in the PS2, PC, and Xbox versions of the game. The Xbox version has an exclusive level called Oil Rig, while the Game Boy Color version has Paris exclusively, and the Game Boy Advance version has The Zone, also exclusive to that port. The levels for Pro Skater 3 are mostly excellent in my opinion. Most of them seem to have areas that flow into each other very nicely, and you can pull off quite big combos. My favourites are Airport and Los Angeles. As a player who prefers to use street skaters in Pro Skater, these levels have lots of areas to grind. My least favourite level in the game, however, is Suburbia. I feel that there isn't any flow between the areas, as the cul-de-sac in the middle of the map divides each part, unlike other maps where you can combo from one side to the other with relative ease. I also feel like the mild horror elements for Suburbia kind of make the level a little bit cringe, but that's just my opinion. Despite not having modern Pro Skater features to help with getting even bigger combos than you would, you can pull off some insane ones with the tools that you have. And the tightness of these maps complement your toolkit quite well. There are also secret areas and a few destructible elements which can unlock hidden parts of the map, including a haunted house in Suburbia, a closed-off helipad in Airport, and a collapsed freeway from an earthquake in Los Angeles. While not as iconic as Pro Skater 2, Pro Skater 3's soundtrack is still one of the best in the series. Songs like Not the Same by Australian punk band Body Jar, Amoeba by Adolescence, 96 Quite Bitter Beings by CKY, and Ace of Spades by Motorhead, which was in the remastered trailer, are absolute standouts here. Although the soundtrack overall I feel isn't as impactful as Pro Skater 2, it is still a very solid one and definitely one of the best in the series. The sound effects were good for their time, the sound of your board hitting a rail and grinding is glorious, and the sound of certain NPCs and the competition audiences cheering you when you land a great combo is very satisfying. The voiceover quality from NPCs is acceptable for its time, considering the game came out in 2001. I'm sure the remaster will enhance the voiceovers when it's eventually released.
Let's see you tear it up!
Despite its very nitpicky shortcomings, as well as the lack of modern features like spine transfers, wall planting, and the like I mentioned before, Pro Skater 3 is an excellent addition to this long-running skateboarding franchise, and it definitely holds up in the modern era. The GameCube version is considered to be the best port of the game, however, it may be much easier and cheaper to get the PS2 version secondhand. The controls are tight, the levels are mostly excellent, the Creator Skater and Park modes are quite robust, the unlockable characters are diverse, and we'll probably never see certain ones again in the franchise due to licensing, and the soundtrack, while not entirely memorable, is one of the strongest ones in the series. If you are curious to see the third game in its original form before the remasters drop in July 2025, or you want to relive those memories you may have had playing this in the 2000s, then I highly recommend trying it out, especially emulated and upscaled via PCSX2 for PC, which I reviewed the game on. And again, there will be a link below to download PCSX2. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. This was my first ever retrospective that I've done, and probably my most ambitious video I've done since I restarted my YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3? Do you agree or disagree with anything I said? What are your opinions on the original game? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like this video and share it with those who may enjoy this kind of content. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my upcoming Pro Skater 4 retrospective, as well as any other skateboarding, extreme sports, or non-extreme sports content on this channel. My name is OneHip. You have a good one. Bye.